What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would do a follow-up on my recent recap and prediction stock market video. I had mentioned that I don't expect tech to just completely lead the way, especially the way that it has over the last maybe 6 months. If you look at a ratio of, say, SPY versus QQQ, you'll notice that SPY is definitely gaining some ground. Today, tech was definitely doing a lot better than the rest of the market. But I think there's some underappreciated sectors and some underappreciated stocks that I think could use some loving and I think are ready to break out anytime soon. So let's go ahead and take a look at those. The two sectors that I'm watching out for right now are industrials and financials. So let's go ahead and take a look at industrials. So this is industrials. I had mentioned in my last video that I'm expecting industrials to cool off a little bit, especially because RSI was definitely overbought, but I didn't expect us to correct this quickly. Either way, we have a couple moving averages right below us to catch us if we fall too far. But this is actually pretty expected, especially after almost getting back to all-time highs. I always expect some kind of turbulence to get there. So whether we get some kind of like cup and handle before we take it onto the upside, I think that's perfectly fine. But regardless, I think there's a few stocks that I really enjoy or really like right now, actually. Enjoy is kind of a weird word. But anyway, so the first one is Boeing. So Boeing has had this overhead resistance for quite some time now. I definitely drew this on one of my older videos, but the point still stands. So this has acted as resistance ever since the middle of June, all the way to the middle of September. Finally broke above it with some confidence and did not look back. I mean, one might even say that we came back. We broke above it, retested a little bit, and then we took off. So looks super clean. Obviously, the next resistance area to watch out for is the box that we've been in ever since the start of the year. So that's quite a bit of resistance. But one thing to note is that we do have an increasing amount of support that I like to watch out for. So this looks definitely like some kind of bull flag. And yeah, obviously my money's to the upside. I don't have to keep saying that. But yeah, Boeing is probably one of the stocks that I feel the best about, especially because it is one of the largest in XLI. And I think $400 over the next maybe 4 to 5 months isn't out of the question. So I'm seeing awesome things with Boeing. Both moving averages are trending upwards. Both the 50 and 200 are looking sharp. And then on a weekly time frame, everything looks good. We were extremely overbought here at the start of the year, so it makes complete sense that we would have such a long consolidation. But it looks like we're ready to have another leg up. And then price action, once again, just had to come and retest the 50-week moving average. I could definitely see this going up again. Aside from Boeing, if you guys don't like Boeing for some reason, I think Lockheed Martin is not as strong. But if for some reason this is your cup of tea, then by all means, go for it. One thing I love about Lockheed Martin is that the inverse head and shoulders pattern is a lot clearer. So this is the left shoulder, head, and then right shoulder, some kind of rounding bottom. And then we eventually just crushed above this 200-day moving average, which acted as resistance for quite some time. So from the middle of May all the way up to the middle of September, we just completely crashed above it, came back, we retested this line, and now we're heading up to the upside. And the 50 is about to cross above the 200-day moving average. And honestly, it does not get more textbook than this. The last time we got a cross was a very long time ago. Geez, I don't know if we'll consider this one. I definitely consider this more like a cross, because this is just like super brief, but something like this. And ever since then, price action was mostly above the 200-day moving average. Another bounce here on the 200, and then a couple more bounces here, here, and then you get the picture. So yeah, we finally consolidated for quite some time, got a rounding bottom, and now we're about to cross bullish again. Like I said, it doesn't get more textbook than that, and I'm loving those two stocks right now. You could definitely go down the list. You'll find some stocks on XLI have this same kind of look. And that's always what I do really, is I'll look at a sector that I think is looking good from a bird's eye view, and then I'll pick a few leaders that I like, and then I'll invest in those. I did buy one share of Boeing today in my Robinhood portfolio, which is my swing trading portfolio. So if you guys want to do that too, then go ahead. Or if you guys want to wait for more of a dip, one thing I could, kind of sympathize with is that Boeing and Lockheed Martin are both kind of expensive. So they're both at least $320 right now. So not the most affordable stocks, but there's some ways to make it work. And like I said, if you guys want to look at other stocks in industrials, that's totally fine too. All right, so now moving on to XLF. What do we have here? Pretty similar look. What we have is some kind of rounding bottom. Again, some kind of inverse head and shoulders. It does not have to look pretty, but the psychology is definitely there. For the third time in this video, I guess what I want to say is it does not get more textbook than that. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stocks in here. I know some of the more common ones are definitely the credit card ones, such as Visa and MasterCard. But I want to take a look at a stock like Chase, which I think is kind of underappreciated. So what we had here in Chase was basically a really nice breakout ever since the low that was printed here at the middle of July. So you basically had 5 months of consolidation, one huge start for another impulsive wave, a very complicated 3 waves down. This looks like a pretty shallow 2 wave. And then we got a really nice bounce attempt off of this 50-day moving average. And now we're coming back and retesting that. So similar to Boeing, what we have here is some kind of rounding base. But with Chase, we're a little bit more accelerated. So we have this sort of rounding bottom, came back to get to all-time highs, and then we got rejected at all-time highs, came back, got some more support from a moving average, and it looks like we're pretty close to taking off. The resistance that I'm watching out for is definitely this, something like this. And I think once we break out above that, I could definitely see this going to at least maybe 140 in the very near future. So that's probably like a 20% gain. One thing I will note with both of these sectors is that for the most part, it's not an easy buy to make when something is about to get to all-time highs. I think that's when a lot of people get scared, and that's exactly why you see things like this. So we get close to all-time highs, and then we don't quite get them. What we see is an exaggerated reaction because we didn't get all-time highs, and then just some more drama. It's never a clean break when we're trying to get to all-time highs, so I could totally see if you guys have some apprehension about getting into these stocks. What I will say is, I think lately I just try to position myself for when we see some easy parts. So I think there's a lot of periods where price action is dramatic. I think there's some time periods where price action is knocking on all-time highs. And when we eventually do break out to all-time highs, then we get a very nice breakout. And then it's a very easy trade to just kind of sit there, get your 20%. You could leave it there if you want. You can take profits, but either way, my trading strategy is about getting to those easy parts. And so yeah, these are two sectors which have pretty similar looks, and I think are going to break out pretty soon. All right, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys are into these sectors as well, but that's going to be it for me. I hope you have a great day and good luck trading.